اهلا بيكم في كايرو دار. النهارده هنتكلم عن digestion in the human being. So what about the digestion? What's meant by digestion? Digestion is the conversion of large food molecules, which are called polymers, as a protein, fats, carbohydrates, into small food molecules, which are called monomers, as monosaccharides, amino acids, fatty acids, and glycerol. So the conversion of large food molecules into smaller food molecules, or the conversion of the polymers into monomers at the presence of enzymes, is called the digestion. So what about the importance of the monomers? The cells use the monomers as a source of energy and also help in growth and to repair the worn out tissue, which is act as the importance of the food. But what the enzyme? We understand that the enzyme act as a catalyst. So what's the components of the enzyme? The enzyme is the proteinic substance. It has the properties of catalysts, and it has a specific ability to activate particular chemical reactions. That means the enzymes that hydrolyzes the starch into maltose, as an example, can't act on the protein or can't act on fats. So the enzyme is a proteinic substance, has the properties of catalyst. It has a specific ability to activate particular chemical reaction. The two actions of the enzymes is a building up or breaking down. We understand that the enzyme can combine with the big molecule and form into an intermediate compound. After that, the big molecule divided into two smaller ones. And also, some enzymes have reversible effect or can change the monomers into polymer. What about the properties of the enzymes? The enzymes are specific in their action. Number one, the enzymes act as a catalyst, so it accelerates the rate of the reaction, still as it at the end of the reaction, and it can be used over and over again. Some enzymes have reversible effect. Some enzymes are secreted in active state. That's the enzymes that are responsible for the digestion of protein. You understand that the stomach is made of protein or made of tissue composed of cells, and the cells is made of protein. But the stomach is responsible for the secretion of the proteinic substance. The enzymes that are responsible for the digestion of the protein is secreted in inactive state, that to protect the cells which secretes the enzyme against the action of the enzyme. So some enzymes are secreted in inactive state. The enzymes are affected by the pH and temperature. pH and temperature act as a limited factor of the action of the enzyme. The enzyme also is affected by the shape and the type of the food molecule. So that's act as a properties of the enzymes. The enzymes can act as a catalyst to accelerate the rate of the reaction or hydrolyzing the food. The enzymes or digestive enzymes are act in the digestive system. So what about the structure of the digestive system? Digestive system start with the mouth opening. The mouth containing tongue, teeth, and salivary glands. The teeth are divided into the incisors, the canines, molars, and the premolars. We understand that the incisors for cutting the food, the canines for tearing the food, and the molars and the premolars for crushing and grinding the food. What about the function of the tongue? Tongue help in swallowing, talking, tasting, and lubricate the food or manipulate the food with the digestive enzymes that located inside the saliva. But the salivary gland is responsible for the secretion of the saliva. What is the saliva? The saliva composite of mucus and the ptyalin enzyme. The function of the mucus help the food to get in the form of the bolus. The bolus means the very small piece of food can pass from the buccal cavity to get inside the pharynx and the esophagus. And also the saliva containing a ptyalin enzyme or saliva amylase that to hydrolyze starch into maltose. So the mouth or the buccal cavity containing teeth, tongue, and the salivary glands. The pharynx is the part act as the intermediate between the digestive system and the respiratory system. The pharynx cavity containing two openings, one of them allow the air to get inside the trachea and the other allow the food to get inside the esophagus. But the esophagus is a long muscular tube at about 25 centimeters. It connects between the pharynx and the stomach. It passes through the chest cavity between the two lungs, parallel to the vertebral column, and passing through the diaphragm to get inside the stomach to carry the food from the pharynx to the stomach. The food passes inside the esophagus by peristalsis, and we understand that peristalsis is a series of contraction and relaxation allow the food to pass through the alimentary canal of digestive system. The stomach, which acts as the dilated muscular sac at the left side of the upper part of the abdominal cavity, it's responsible for the digestion of protein partially into polypeptide or some amount of protein into polypeptide. The stomach is controlled, or the food inside the stomach is controlled by two sphincters. One of them is called the cardiac sphincter, but the other is the pyloric. The cardiac sphincter between the esophagus and the stomach that allows the passage of the food from the esophagus to the stomach and preventing its flow back. And also the pyloric sphincter, which allows the food, which is called the acidic chyme, to pass from the stomach to get inside the duodenum. The digestion in man that takes place by the presence of enzymes. So the part of the alimentary canal which follow the stomach is called the small intestine. The small intestine is about 8 meters. The first 25 centimeters is called the duodenum, but the rest of the small intestine is called the ileum. Inside the duodenum, the bile juice and pancreatic juice get inside the digestive system through the duodenum, or the first 25 centimeters of the small intestine. The small intestine is responsible for the absorption of food, and also the digestion of food is not completed except inside the small intestine. After that, the digestive system is end with the large intestines. The large intestine is the part that's responsible for the absorption of water and salts and reject the non-digested food material outside the body during the defecation. What about the digestion inside the human being? The digestion starts in the man buccal cavity. The buccal cavity containing a thiolin enzyme. The thiolin enzyme hydrolyzes starch into maltose. So the first substances that formed as digestion inside the digestive system is maltose, because starch change into maltose or hydrolyzed into maltose by the action of the thiolin enzyme. Thiolin enzyme act in awake alkaline medium about 7.5 to 8 pH, or 8 pH that act as awake alkaline. So the starch change into maltose inside the human buccal cavity, but the thiolin enzyme can't act in acidic medium. So when the food which pass from the buccal cavity to get inside the stomach, the thiolin enzyme can't act due to the presence of acidic medium or strong acidic medium inside the stomach that allow the thiolin enzyme to stop its action. So the food digestion inside the buccal cavity is just the hydrolyzing starch into maltose. What about the stomach? We understand that the esophagus has no any digestive enzymes. It containing glands to secrete mucus only, that to facilitate the passage of the food through the esophagus by the peristalsis. But inside the stomach, the presence of gastric juice. We understand that the gastric juice composite of about 90% water and 10% are divided into HCl and pepsinogen. HCl is very important hydrochloric acid that secreted inside the stomach. Pepsinogen is very important enzyme, because HCl responsible for the activation of pepsinogen into pepsin, make a strong acidic medium 1.5 to 2.5, and also kill the microbes which may get with the food inside the human digestive system or inside the stomach. So that's the function of the HCl. But what about the function of pepsinogen? The pepsinogen is activated inside the stomach by HCl. Pepsinogen hydrolyzes protein into polypeptide. The polypeptide is the breaking down hydrogen bonds between the polypeptide chain and the protein molecule, so that you change the protein into polypeptide by the action of the pepsin enzyme. But why the stomach is not digest itself? The stomach can digest itself due to the presence of thick layer of mucus that lines the stomach internally, and also because HCl is secreted from the tips of the cells, and the pepsinogen is secreted in the inactive state, so that can't affect the action of the pepsin on the stomach wall. And also the ptyalin enzyme stop its action inside the stomach due to the presence of acidic medium. That's the end of this part. Thank you very much. Goodbye and good luck.